everyone, welcome back. I'm Sarah with Fisher Price Ranch. First off, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So I haven't done the update yet, which I'm doing now, of the video that I promised after we figured out all the answers of what was going on with our goats. So I encourage everyone to please share this video because you never know when it could save a possible life of your livestock. So please share as much as possible. So what I'm going to read to you is kind of the article that I wrote, and just kind of share with you guys what we've been through over the last year to year and a half. And I'm going to also be sharing pictures. It's really hard to see, some of the stuff I'm going to show you because it's just really sad and we couldn't find the answers. We had to dig a lot to figure this out, and it wasn't just us, it was other farms as well. And many lives lost. So anyway, stay tuned. We started our ranch many years ago and got into raising goats in 2015. We tried different dairy breeds, but stumbled upon the Kiko breed and realized they are a great multi-purpose goat. We've had Kikos for over 6 years now and raised them on grass, hay, and forage, keeping them grain-free. We put out good quality loose minerals and fresh water, and our goats thrived. In 2021, we decided to move from our 1-acre property to 36 acres in Concho, Arizona, which was only about an hour from our old place. Our new property is completely off-grid and on well water. We never expected that our new property would become a place of tragedy and loss for our once thriving herd. Over the next year and a half, we noticed the goats seemed a bit off. There were gradual changes over many months at a time, so it took a while to realize what was going on. They had lost a little bit of weight, but not much. They got rough coats, which can be a sign of copper deficiency, so we gave them copper bolus. With little improvement, we started to expect that it was the feed. We decided to switch feed, but the new supplier had moldy hay. We found another supplier and used their hay for about a month. We started to see the goats not wanting to eat. After closer inspection, we found foxtails in the hay and inside the goats' mouths, leaving them sore and bloody. The burrs were embedded in the goats' upper lips and around their tongues. We quickly got rid of the hay, which we bale grazed, so we had to burn our pastures and pulled all the burrs out of the goats' mouths. We decided to use an older supplier. Though they are an hour away, it is a good consistent hay. All of our goats seemed to recover from the foxtail incident, but still were not gaining any weight. We had already gone through our breeding season before the foxtail incident, so we knew we had to give the goats as much feed as they wanted to ensure a healthy enough body condition. We kept 1,500 pounds of Bermuda hay out 24/7, and they got alfalfa pellets twice a day. We fed our goats the same ration at our old place with no issues. Our herd had been grain-free for all these years, so we were reluctant to add any into their diet. However, with the consistent weight loss issues and knowing they were carrying kids, we figured it was time. So we decided to add oats and black oil sunflower seeds into their alfalfa pellets. We later tried adding in a high-performance pellet, which is used on malnourished animals to help them gain weight quicker. We used that for almost a month, and the goats still did not gain any weight. Coming up on kidding season and thinking about the added grain, our does should have had extra large udders compared to previous years. Unfortunately, it seemed the opposite happened. Their udders were smaller than normal, but we figured it was because they were still underweight. Our normal alfalfa pellets mill was down, so we tried another alfalfa pellet, but the goats started dropping even more weight after having kids. Thinking it was the new pellets, we switched to alfalfa hay. At this point, we were super frustrated because no matter what we tried, nothing was working. The girls started losing even more weight after the kids were a couple weeks old, and then we lost our first goat. We thought it was odd, but the dam had triplets, which is a lot to handle. A few days later, we found another kid not doing well, so we warmed it up and put it on the bottle, this time from a different dam. Within a week, we had lost a few more kids. They would seem fine one evening and then gone by the next morning. We started to notice the signs on the kids and started putting them on the bottle, which was helping. Unfortunately, we lost a total of 6 kids, which was heartbreaking. We partnered with another ranch, Cedar Ridge Kikos, back in March of 2022. We brought in high-quality Kikos from all over the U.S. to Concho, Arizona. The goats were in great condition when they arrived and were bred months later. The goats seemed healthy at a glance, but as we neared kidding season, some of the goats started to miscarry, losing multiple kids. Their coats were rough and their udders small, losing quite a bit of weight as well, though they were free-fed. We realized every ranch we spoke with in this area was dealing with the same issue, even though we had different feed and management practices. Heart and Soul Ranch, Cedar Ridge Kikos, and us, Fisher Price Ranch, decided it was time to find answers. We started working with our local livestock extension agent, local and state veterinarians, and out-of-state labs. Together we got samples of blood, soil, water, feed, and even had a necropsy done. We were all so desperate for answers to save our herds from this rapid decline. In the meantime, Fisher Price Ranch and Cedar Ridge Kikos treated all their goats with shots of Bo-C, vitamin B complex, vitamin C, zinc tablets, and copper bolus, and drenched with CMPK in hopes of replenishing what their bodies were missing. As results started trickling in, they were not making any sense. The vets and extension agent were stumped. The blood samples were extremely high in iron, but also high in copper. This is strange because iron depletes copper. The samples also showed low calcium and zinc. The soil samples were high in pH and alkaline. The well water was tested with strips and showed no iron or copper, which didn't make any sense because our pipes were stained orange and how high the blood mineral panels were. We planned to get our water tested to get a full mineral analysis in hopes of better answers. After talking with locals about their well water, everyone's tests were high in iron, so it all started to make sense. At Heart and Soul Ranch, their blood and liver biopsy came back as low in calcium, magnesium, zinc, nickel, and silicone. After all the research, testing, and results, and still no answers, my gut was telling me we had to be the well water. We decided to get a water filtration system on our well and filter out iron and any other heavy minerals. Once the Culligan filter was installed, it was a waiting game. Okay, so here's what we did. We're not done in here, kind of ignore the mess, but we got our new filtration system on here, and it's hooked up to our water transfer pump. But when we pulled the PVC pipe off of the old stuff, it was full of rust. And here's another example. You can actually see it on the pipes. So this is how much iron is in our water. So this is really making a lot of sense as far as that's what's causing all the problems with our goats. So with this filtration system, we're going to filter out all that iron, and then it'll go from here. We'll hook up our hose and that'll water all the animals. So we're going to be cleaning out all their water troughs. Also, this goes to we fill up our fifth wheel with this water too. So it's going to be good for us too to get a lot of the iron out of the system. Or out of the water, I should say. I took a picture of one of our worst goats the day we put the filter on. It was so sad to see them in such bad condition. I was able to use that photo to compare a few weeks later as to whether the filter was working, and I could not believe the difference. The goats were starting to gain a little bit of weight, even though we had not changed the feed. We also decided to change the first water filter after just 2 months. Even though the filter is recommended to be changed every 5 months, the 2-month-old filter is stained dark orange from the amount of iron it was filtering out of our water. It is scary to see that high amount of iron, and we can only imagine what the water could be doing to us. Why were we not told about this? I came across an article about the water supply in Apache County back in 1964. It talks about the soil layers and the different wells in the area. At different well depths, you hit different water pockets, some of which are unfit for livestock and human use. In our area, we cannot get into the Coconino Aquifer for almost 1,000 feet, which is where the water quality is best. Most of the wells in our area are around 300 to 600 feet and are in different pockets of water. Depending on the pocket of water you hit, depends on how much water you get and the quality of it. Our well hits water at 250 feet, but our well water pump is about 300 feet. The unfortunate part is that if we wanted to drill down into the Coconino Aquifer, it would cost us as much as $100,000. That is just not in the budget, especially for ranchers and low-income households. With everything out of our control, we are forced to do whatever we can to ensure our animals get better. Our goats have been using their mineral buffet for about 3 months now, watching them closely and keeping track of what they are using. We recently noticed the goats going after copper, zinc, cobalt, and phosphorus. We decided to copper our goats again with the bolus in hopes to help them level out their minerals a little bit quicker and give them other supplements as well. Within a week of giving them the copper bolus, the goats quit licking it from their mineral buffet. The goats are starting to gain weight and the kids are growing better as well. We had a second kid crop born a few weeks after the water filter was installed, and the dam's udders are much bigger. We are just passing their 60-day-old marks and have found the kids to be growing like they should be. We had a recent liver biopsy done on one of the goats and found that all their minerals are showing normal. So everything we have done has helped the goats tremendously. We are still in a recovery stage and expect it to take many months to get the herd back up to thriving status. I believe we are on the right track and will be sure to change the water filter more regularly. This will be a forever battle with the water, the goats' minerals, and unless we come up with a ton of money to drill our well deeper or move. If we had known about the water issues, we would not have moved here. We never expected our well water could cause so much damage to our animals. It is not the first thing one would expect as the problem. I'm just very upset it took so long to figure this out and our animals had to suffer. We hope this story may help others who are dealing with the same issues. We definitely recommend testing your water to ensure it is safe for your livestock before it's too late. Alright, you guys, so that's kind of our story. We're still, like I said, in the recovery stage, but the goats are looking so much better. They're gaining their weight. I mean, Sabrina, what a turnaround. She has completely gained all of her weight back. Now we're just kind of letting the goats have time. They need to finish shedding out their old coats because they still have a little bit left of their pretty nasty discolored coats. I can't believe some of the colors that we're seeing in the goats. Complete changes in color. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was really helpful. Like I said, please share this. It may help save animals' lives. You just never know because it's not just hurting goats. It's hurting other livestock, animals, any kind of animal, even possibly people. So it's really important to test your water. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching and we appreciate you following along. Thank you. Have a good day.